Folks, it's Jim. I'm going to do a little video on the Bakhmut situation. Is Russia winning in Bakhmut? Yes. But what also is happening? They are exhausting a ridiculous amount of precious artillery and ammunition that the Russian military is finding scarce and more scarce every day. And that's why the Ukrainians have not sent a full-on offensive in there to fight for a piece of territory that they can delete from its importance simply by shaping around it. So what I see in Ukraine is a shaping movement, but not a traditional shaping movement. It is allowing Prigozhin to keep chewing for that dirt. They have lost 70,000 Russian casualties, both injured and dead. Russia has exhausted for this territory that really strategically can be easily flipped and make it no longer strategically valuable. And that's why Ukraine hasn't launched an all-out offensive there. And I'm going to do another video as to why you haven't seen the Ukrainian counteroffensive, why it's probably not going to happen. And when I do that video, it will hopefully reveal a lot to you about what's going on behind the scenes. There is a lot going on behind the scenes. Negotiations are off the charts. I believe many things are happening that people are not being made aware of yet. And I can see that in many ways. But Bakhmut, basically, by Ukraine just stepping back, forcing Prigozhin to chew that dirt, is exhausting so much artillery, ammunition, and manpower. It is insane. It is an insane venture. Any sane military would have ceased and desisted a long time ago. And that's why I believe the Russian Defense Ministry wanted to cut the artillery into Prigozhin, because the way they're fighting that battle is so costly for what precious artillery they have. And, when you do risk-reward analysis of this territory, you begin to say, no, it's not worth it, And unfortunately, that's been Russian mentality for a long time. Even in World War II, millions of Russians dead, and it was sad, truly sad, and they held on and they repelled, and that was good. But in this case, in modern warfare, it is foolish for multiple reasons. If we reload the HIMARS units, that whole expense that Prigozhin has made to take this territory will be eliminated overnight. And one massive attack, and it would be for naught. The whole thing, 70,000 lives so far. That doesn't include the last 2 days count. And the artillery, the ammunition, the hardware losses, all of it, when you add it up, it doesn't even make sense that they would have done this. And that's why the Ukrainians are not sending a big barrage of people trying to fight back for this place, okay? They're trying to hold on and force Prigozhin by making him chew a meter at a time. It's forcing him to think he's going forward and to give him the bait of going forward, but yet he's exhausting everything, and to include the manpower of Russia, okay? And it's not going to go over well either when, the rest of the Russian troops are finding out how many of their buddies are getting wasted. So it's not helping morale either, Chewing a meter at a time at this cost ratio is not good for morale, nothing else. And especially when you find out your leadership was baited into something that exhausted so much of their resources, and then people with common sense begin to look at this, and then that negatively affects morale. It may seem like, oh, morale is great, we're doing this and that, but not when you're carrying that many bodies out, Not when you're exhausting that much artillery, that much ammunition, and the rest of the Russian military is saying, what the heck? You know? So those are my feelings on Bakhmut. You can make whatever decision you want, but I've seen this before, suckering somebody into a hole that it costs them so much. It's insane. And believe me, it's cost Ukraine quite a bit too, because halfway through the Battle of Bakhmut, they were trying to fend them off. Then they changed tactics, okay? And that has resulted in this massive exhaustion of artillery, ammunition, and everything else on the Russian side. And remember, Ukraine just got in a whole new load of artillery from Egypt. So even people Putin thought he may have had a relationship with, or they're feeding the Ukrainian military. So, and that's old Russian artillery that the Ukrainian can use. The Ukrainian military can use. So that's what I wanted to share on this video. Nothing is what it appears. I'm going to do another video as to why there's been no major offensive from Ukraine, even though I believe they're ready. And I think that may be a little more enlightening as to what's going on. The Patriot defense system has shown itself to be phenomenal against, their weaponry, and other things are happening that are going to be important. But what is Bakhmut? It's sort of a shaping. We're not shaping as much as we're allowing Prigozhin to exhaust precious artillery, ammunition, and Russian personnel, unfortunately, on a piece of land that we can easily counterattack. And it's truly sad. So, and I believe they're going to let Prigozhin take Bakhmut. That may happen today, and give them a golden bridge, if you will, of dignity. And I believe that's what it's about too for today. Okay, and I'll talk on the next video as to why I think that's the case. There's two things happening: allow them to eventually attain a golden bridge, at the same time exhaust as much artillery and ammunition as possible. And it's both are happening. So anyway, those are my feelings on Bakhmut. And there's other reasons why the Ukrainians have not launched a counteroffensive in that area. There's more to it than meets the eye. There's a lot going on, folks. Jim out.